Bro, I am 100% sure that you know how it feels like when you have that big project or big decision or big task of the day that you tell yourself, I will do it today. And so you write it down on your to-do list in the evening or in the afternoon. And guess what? You get at that time and have either not any time left, or you don't have any energy left, or you don't have any brain points left. So you end up procrastinating it. You tell yourself, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow, and then tomorrow, and then next week, bro, and next week, and then you end up procrastinating it over and over and over again. And to be very honest, I can literally not count the time that I did that same mistake too, until I understood that doing the exact opposite was actually going to solve the problem once and for all. As soon as I realized that successful people actually did first thing in the morning the hardest decision and the hardest task and hardest project. As soon as I understood that, I eliminated my problem with procrastination, and I was first of all getting things done much faster, much better, and it was making me feel much better also. So in this video I will literally show you why it is the case that you should be doing the first thing in the morning the hardest decisions and the hardest things, and how that will first of all eliminate your procrastination problem and make you get much better results, bro. Much better results. But what do most people do? Most people do what I was doing, bro, and what you are probably doing too. Most people tell themselves, yeah, we'll do it in the afternoon, in the evening, spend the whole day doing bullshit things, and guess what? Then they're procrastinating it, and they ask themselves why they don't have any energy left, why they don't have any brain points and motivation left, right? But we both know how it feels like when we do that. We feel like shit, we feel inside like heavy and burdened because we know that we wanted to do it. We even wrote it down on our to-do list. And so the weekly planner and the monthly planner get longer and longer and longer. And that eats us up from inside. At least me, I don't like seeing that I'm not doing what I know is right. And yeah, it's just a shitty feeling. It's just a shitty feeling. But why is that the case, bro? Why is that the case? That is very simply the case because at the evening time, we don't have any brain points left. And if you don't know what brain points are, that is not a problem. Just as soon as you understand how brain points work and how they influence your life, and as soon as you start using them in the right way, you will eliminate just like that your problem with procrastination, and you will get much better results, bro. I promise. So here is how brain points work. Imagine that you wake up every single day with 100 brain points. Then that depends obviously of many different factors. Maybe you wake up with 50 because you ate like shit, you were partying last night and you didn't sleep that well and don't have many good habits, right? So you maybe wake up with 50 brain points, or 30 or 40. And maybe you're very, like, you do a lot of sports, you sleep in an amazing way, your diet is also on top, and so you wake up with 200 brain points. But let's say that you wake up with 100. And you have to know that every single thing you do throughout the day uses a specific amount of brain points. And the amount of brain points that a specific task uses depends on how difficult and how strenuous for your mind it is. So maybe scrolling on Instagram takes you 10 or maybe 20 brain points. Watching Netflix maybe 15, maybe 20. Or doing a hard workout maybe also 20. And taking a hard decision maybe 30 or maybe 40. And doing a long working session where you literally finish a big task you did maybe takes you 50 brain points. But now you maybe ask yourself, yeah, but why is that important? That is very important because if let's say that you said to yourself, yeah, we'll do that big project that takes you 50 brain points in the afternoon, and you get in the afternoon with only 30 or 40 brain points left because you use them throughout the day, then you will simply don't have the energy and the mental brain points, right, to do it in the right way. And so you will probably either end up not doing it, or if you end up doing it, the quality will be much worse and you will actually have to spend much more time to do something that would have taken you much less, bro, much less. And so what I've seen that works like incredibly well, and what I've seen that most successful people actually do, is to take the hardest decisions and do the hardest things first thing in the fucking morning, because there is where you have the most brain points and therefore will not procrastinate it, do it much faster, and do it much better. So it's literally a no-brainer. It's literally a no-brainer. So what I recommend you to do to implement this video are following 3 simple steps. Step number one, take out your weekly or monthly planner. You don't have to do it on your journal, by the way, but I like to do it on paper. You have here your monthly planner and your weekly planner, and you look at it. And step number two is to identify the hardest tasks, the hardest decisions, the hardest projects that you have written down here, because we all have those projects that are kind of fast and less important. We all have those things that are harder and more strenuous and more difficult, but more important also. So how do you know that what you're seeing is the most important thing? There are two rules of thumbs. Normally the hardest things are the more important ones. Normally the things towards which you feel most resistance towards doing them are the most important things, and normally the most important things are also the things that you end up procrastinating over and over again, or at least that was the case for me, and that are written on your to-do list, on your weekly planner since the longest time. Step number three, take out your daily planner, your to-do list. I like to do it on paper, and you write down the hardest task, the hardest decision as the first task of the day, bro. Doesn't matter what you think to yourself, doesn't matter what excuses you have, write it down first thing in the fucking morning. And following these three steps will get you to eliminate your problem with procrastination, spend much less time doing the tasks, get better results, feel amazing, because you will feel like you already did the hardest thing of the day first thing. And the fourth thing is that it will give you a sense of satisfaction and of ease, and the whole day will go in a much smoother way. Because imagine that you are going on a run and you start the run with the hardest part. It goes steeply uphill, and then the rest of the run is just slight downhill. The same thing goes when you actually do the hardest thing of the day first thing in the morning, because there you do the hardest part in the morning, and then you know that the rest of the day will be just easier than that, bro. And it's crazy how much better it works. So I highly recommend you to try it out. And if you also want to know how I plan my week and how I plan my month, then let me know in the comments down below, because I'm thinking about making a video about that. But if you want to know how I plan my day, I recommend you to go and watch this video, because otherwise you will not know how to plan your day like a pro, so that you actually end up doing what you want to be doing. So I really hope that this video helped you out. I wish you all the best, bro, and see you in the next one. See you right here.